Hey, this is Matt McGloin of Cosmic Book News. Today we're going to quickly go over the recent X-Men Dark Phoenix trailer, but before we get into things, Fox Studios did announce a new release date for X-Men Dark Phoenix with June 7th, 2019. The original plans were for the movie to be released February 14th, but Fox Studios pushed it back to June 7th, 2019. Worth a mention is that June 7th release date is right around the same time that the Disney Fox deal is supposed to go through, summer 2019. Also worth a mention is that Fox Studios recently announced a PG-13 re-release of Deadpool 2 for December 21st, 2018, later this year, which just so happens to be the release date for WB's and DC's Aquaman movie. On top of that, Disney also has the Mary Poppins movie coming out right around then. So we almost see a 1-2 punch going on from Fox and Disney against DC, as we have the Deadpool PG-13 re-release coming out and Mary Poppins with DC's Aquaman movie caught in the middle. Okay, let's take a look at the new X-Men Dark Phoenix trailer.
You think you can fix me?
Jean, you are not.
Alright, here we have young Jean Grey coming to the X-Mansion. This scene is like set in the 1970s as X-Men Dark Phoenix takes place in 1992. This scene takes place after another scene that'll be shown in a moment where an accident happens with Jean Grey apparently causing the accident as she uses her powers for the first time. Real quick, this is the end. That's by the Doors by Jim Morrison, but this appears to be some sort of cover band singing the song. But a couple days before the release of the official X-Men Dark Phoenix trailer, an international X-Men Dark Phoenix trailer leaked online, and it featured like the footage in different order, and it also featured the original Doors music with Jim Morrison's voice singing the end, which I thought was a lot better than this trailer that Fox released officially. I'm almost even wondering if Fox Studios didn't go with that international trailer because it was similar to Marvel's Captain Marvel trailer, because both of the trailers, they had a female character going through some trouble, and then the end of the trailer shows the characters like fully powered. The Marvel Studios Captain Marvel trailer shows like Carol Danvers, like Brie Larson with her eyes all powered up, which the international version showed with Sophie Turner and Jean Grey. But I'll include a link below to the international leaked X-Men trailer, which you can check out if you want to see the difference. All right, let's continue.
Beautiful friend. The mind is a fragile thing. Takes only the slightest tap to tip it in the wrong direction. This is the end.
Charles, what did you do?
All right, here it's realized that Professor X used Cerebro to implant psychic blocks into the young Jean Grey, because obviously her powers are out of control and she couldn't control them. So Professor X used Cerebro to implant psychic blocks so she couldn't access that superpower. But then, as they'll show later on in the trailer, the X-Men go to space to save astronauts, and Jean Grey gets subjected to some kind of cosmic powers, which we can assume unleashes her Dark Phoenix power. And then when she comes back from space, the X-Men obviously give her a medical exam, and they discover that what Professor X did when Jean Grey was young, by putting the blocks in her, which apparently now the blocks are gone because of the new cosmic power or what have you.
I had to keep her stable. I protected her.
From the truth?
This is a flashback scene of when Jean Grey was young, and apparently she uses her powers for the first time and causes this accident, which may or may not have killed her parents or whatever, but the end result is that it ended up sending Jean Grey to Professor X's mansion. Also, I want to say, I always thought when the mutants first got their powers, they were in their teenage years or right around then. But this appears to be a lot take place before that, a even younger character, which I guess isn't a big thing, but I just thought I'd point it out.
There's another word for that.
I came looking for answers.
Here's Genosha, which in the comics, Magneto created as a safe haven for the mutants. Appears to be something similar going on here. For whatever reason, Jean Grey goes to get Magneto's help. Maybe she, after the accident in space, she finds out that Professor X, put the blocks in her mining. She kind of feels betrayed by Professor X, so she leaves the mutants, goes off on her own, and maybe goes looking, looking for Magneto for help.
You feel like you don't belong here. You don't.
This is Jessica Chastain. She's the villain of X-Men Dark Phoenix. Not much is known about her or the character she's playing, but director-writer Simon Kinberg did confirm that she's an alien, but he stopped short of saying that she's a Skrull, which is the rumor. It was thought one time that Jessica Chastain was playing Lilandra, the queen of the Shi'ar. It's another alien race in the comics. But that doesn't appear to be the case. It appears to be a Skrull, which, again, is similar to the Marvel Studios Captain Marvel movie, as they use the Skrulls, too.
They can't begin to comprehend what you are.
She's changing.
And what?
You didn't come here looking for answers.
Here's a cool nod to the Grant Morrison X-Men comics with these costumes here. I think they look pretty good. This scene appears to be at the childhood home of Jean Grey, and she unleashes her powers with all heck breaking out. Sort of similar to what we saw in The Last Stand. Regarding The Last Stand, I know, everybody's like, well, everybody feels like they've seen X-Men Dark Phoenix before with The Last Stand, but I don't know if I read it or heard it from somewhere that Dark Phoenix is kind of what Simon Kinberg originally wanted The Last Stand to be. So maybe with his last time at his one last shot at the X-Men at Fox Studios, he's trying to make something right.
Came here looking for permission. Jean. She's all rage, pain. That's all coming out of.
Here's a scene that's said to take place at the beginning of the movie when the X-Men go to space to save the astronauts, which causes some sort of, cosmic accident with Jean Grey.
Jean lost control, but she's still off.
This looks to be part of the funeral scene. It's thought that Jean Grey actually killed somebody. Maybe during that scene at her childhood house when, she just unleashes the Dark Phoenix, can't control her powers, and one of the X-Men dies, which looks to set something up later on, at least in this trailer. It appears to be, on one side there's Professor X, and on one side there's Magneto. But let's continue.
This is your fault, Charles. The world is on the brink. I'm sorry. I didn't stop it sooner. You're always sorry, Charles.
Here's Magneto about to don the helmet, put it back on. Apparently he hasn't worn it in a while. So now he's putting it on. But worth a mention is that it protects him from telepathy. And Jean Grey just happens to be one of the most powerful telepathic mutants. So obviously put two and two together.
And there's always a speech, and nobody cares. There's still hope. Don't do this.
They're right to see.
That was the funeral scene real quick. Apparently one of the X-Men died. Take note that Professor X did say there's still hope.
Hear me.
I've seen evil. And I'm looking at it now.
Then you have Magneto saying that he's seen evil. So on one hand you have Professor X saying there's still hope. But Magneto says he sees evil, so we can guess that he looks at Jean Grey as possibly a threat to the mutants, if not the whole world and even mankind, which might set up the X-Men and Xavier having to fight Magneto, because Magneto might want to kill Jean Grey, but Professor X wants to save her, feeling that there's still hope. And then, again, regarding the international trailer, it flashes to a scene with Sophie Turner as Jean Grey with her eyes really glowing with like the full power of the Dark Phoenix. But this trailer didn't show it for some reason. So not a bad trailer by any means. I mean, basically we saw this movie with The Last Stand, but hopefully it's a little better. I'm trying to keep an open mind. I mean, it does appear to be the last X-Men movie from Fox Studios. I don't know if New Mutants will get released under Fox or Disney or whatever. But it is further thought that the recent reshoots that Simon Kinberg did were because it is the last X-Men movie, and the reshoots might involve something at the end. You know, maybe a big send-off for the X-Men franchise at Fox Studios that's lasted for 18 years. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Thanks.